The government calls me up and said they're interested in buying the island, but not as a park, but as a wildlife sanctuary. And after 3 years, they finally came up with the money, and I get paid off my investors. I kept the 5 acres with the lighthouse, and most of this island now is back federally owned, and it's being managed as a wildlife refuge. And 2003, my wife talks me into coming out here, rebuilding the old lighthouse. It had fallen down in the basement. The idea was we'll rent it out when people aren't using it. We could come out and use it. And when I got it built, it was so beautiful. I called her up. I said, you know, we don't have any tenants this year. We had a close family member die unexpectedly. I said, life's so short and uncertain. We may never go out there again, get a chance to go out there again and enjoy it. So get on a plane. We're going out there. We're going to live that summer. And that's what we did in 2004. And we spent the season out here feeling like the 2 luckiest people in the world. And it was enough time for me to concoct up an idea about bringing people out here and serving them dinners. And I told my wife one day up there, I said, I'm thinking I don't want to rent the house out. That means I've got to bring people out here, drop them off, and then I got to leave. I said, you know what, I don't think I want to leave. I said, you know what, picture us out here year after year. We stay here, people come out and have dinner, we tell a little story, and at the end of the day, we wave goodbye, they leave, and I'm still here. I'm liking that. She says, you want to bring 50 people out here at a time and dinner on my porch? I said, well, you know, you were going to bring strangers out anyway and rent the house out. She goes, yeah, but 48 people all at once, where are they going to go to the bathroom? I said, well, the dinner guests are going to eat. They're going to have to use the bathrooms for now. And but I'm thinking, honey, if we bring enough people out here and charge them enough money, I may never have to go get a real job again. So she gave me permission to start this whole thing 9 years ago. And so now we're doing a few day trips now and then. You guys got to come out here, and that's how we got this whole thing going. And the tower, but anyway, I should wrap this up. So the tower, around 2000, the man that owns the tower called up the federal government and said, I see you bought most of the island from Wilsey and you're managing it as a wildlife refuge. I want to simplify my estate. I'm dying of cancer. They said, we'll call the Nature Conservancy, and the Nature Conservancy came out and paid the man $113,000 for the tower. And I had sold a few lots to keep my investors from suing my pants off, and they came and made offers and bought 6 of those lots back. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 privately owned lots left, okay? And the 5 acres I own. The Nature Conservancy owns the tower, and I've made an agreement with them that I will trade part of my 5 acres with the endangered plants so they can give that to the federal government, give me the tower so I can get it in the hands of a group of people in a nonprofit corporation to help raise the money to get it restored. So that's the future for the tower. That's what we're hoping will happen. And there it is. That's the whole ball of wax. Now you guys made it out here. It makes you part of the history of Cherry Island too, right? There you go. So that's the story.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Hope it wasn't too lengthy.
So you guys haven't done any restoring yet to the lighthouse?
No, what we did, that metal roof with the ball on it, there's what they call stanchions holding it up. They're all broke but 2. And the architectural assessment was done. We had professionals do a road map on how to get it restored the way it was. They warned us that the wind's blowing on that thing, that gold metal gets brittle, and one more stanchion breaks, the thing could fall down. So we built a scaffolding underneath it and lashed it all together. And the plan calls for a barge to come in with a crane. The crane comes off the barge, lifts that whole cap off as one piece and sets it on the barge, and it goes back to a metal casting plant where it could get rebuilt, restored. And while that's going on, you know, I can visualize brick masons redoing the tower and putting the windows back in and sandblasting the steps. And then boom, we'd have a restored lighthouse. It's an important remnant of our maritime history out here in this kind of economy. Lighthouses are an economic asset because it brings tourists, you know. So like last night we served about 70 people. They didn't come out here because Bob Wilsey has good fish. They came out here because there's a lighthouse out there.
Do you know like how much money you have raised and how much money you guys need to fund that?
They haven't raised, I think they raised 11,000. The Historical Society in Aranac County got on the big move to start taking it on as a project. And then, we didn't know this, when I came out to rebuild my house that's it's attached to it, this separate piece, they were told that it's not eligible for a grant anymore. And then we found out later that there is another kind of grant that's about not just restoring and maintaining the historical integrity. If it's a historic site that has the potential to become an economic benefit for the area, there's grant money available for that. But the short answer to your question is about 400,000 would restore it. It was the last estimate we had, according to my wife. I saw 280. She said no, it's 400. So she's probably right. She usually is.
But the federal government has nothing to do with that, correct? Because it's not part of, it's not anything with that.
No.
So just with grant money.
They don't
donation.
want it. They
Okay.
really don't want it because it conveys certain obligations on them. If it's part of land that they receive, and it's on this obligation that they don't want, they can't afford it. I mean, they don't want to be in the business of restoring historical sites right now. But I'm sure that if we look toward both sides of the bay, because my feeling is the island, you know, Tom's bringing people out of Caseville. We've been doing that for 4 years now. Been coming out of Au Gres for 9 years. And it's an asset that really is for the whole region. It has economic benefits for that side of the bay and this side. So the way I'm visualizing it is a nonprofit corporation made up of individuals that have the connections and the ability to go out and raise that money for us, and then set up a management program for it. You know, when it will be open, and you know, all that stuff. But that's something I don't really want to do. I don't, you know, I want to see it done so that, you know, because I'm not going to be around forever, and I'd like to know that, you know, we've got the wheels turning. There's some real efforts being made to get it restored. So the Nature Conservancy sent out an appraiser 2 months ago to appraise my land and their land, and then they're going to come up with a number. And based on that number, they'll say, okay, so we'll need 2.5 acres, or we'll need 3 acres to match the value of this one, and whatever that's going to be, we're going to get it done. And then I'll have it just long enough to do press releases and invite people with the connections and the ability to go raise the money to participate with us to get it restored. That's where I'm hoping the future will take us. So guys, hey, glad you made it out here today. Enjoy your time out here. If you got any questions, you know, Tom and I, we're around. We'll be here. I'm going to go see what my grandkids are up to.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.